What are the causes? What are the causes for Naxalism in India? So first, why Naxalism started in India? Because of poor implementation of land reforms. Poor implementation of land reforms. Friends, what are land reforms first of all? After India, during the British time, India has Jamindar system, You know why Jamindar system came up? Have you heard modern India? I mean, modern Indian history. Have you heard the classes? Is over, class over? In the classes, you might have heard that Britishers initially used to collect the tax directly from farmers. Every farmer, they used to go give the tax. They used to collect like that. But later on, it's waste of time going to every farmer. So they appointed a Jamindar. The Jamindar has to collect taxes and give to British. For example, you are Jamindar. What is your name? Your name only. Reshma. Let us say you are a Jamindar. All the farmers. You go and collect tax from all these people. Let us say you collected 100 rupees. You will not give 100 rupees to me. Give 90 rupees to me. 10 rupees will keep. That is commission for collecting the tax. Understand? So, if, for example, that farmer is not giving tax. Do you know what you will do? You will take her land. You will take her land. You will produce the crop in that land. This farmer is not giving tax. You take her land. So sometimes during the drought conditions, some farmers cannot pay tax because they don't get the crop. How can they pay tax? In such conditions, Jamindar can take all the lands. And pay the tax to the British government. That's how Jamindars came into India. How they came into India? How can a single person has thousands of acres? Impossible, no. Jamindar system, that's what developed. You should understand how it occurred in India. Okay, anyhow, there is a background. Now let us say independence. India got independence. After India got independence, by 1947, August 15th, at that time, in India, there are many Jamindars having huge swathes of land, large pieces of land. Okay? And there are many landless. Landless means no land for them. They always work in their field only. Have seen the movie Gamyam? Allu Arjun, Gamyam? What is this movie? Vedam, very good. Vedam, Anushka is in the movie. So, if you observe that movie, in that movie there is a poor family. The poor family works for a landlord. They work throughout their life for landlord. Their son also works for the landlord. But finally, you see what happened in the movie. That is the typical condition of most of the Indian villages, particularly Rayalaseema and North Andhra, main Rayalaseema in India, and Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, West Bengal, same conditions. So under that conditions, what happens? What are the land reforms? First of all, land reforms means after independence, abolition of Jamindari. Write down. There are many land reforms. I am telling one of the most important land reform. Abolition of Jamindari system, and distribution of the land, to the landless peasants. Peasants means poor farmers. This is one of the most important land reform. This is promised by government of India. When India got independence, Britishers ruling India, government of India ruling India should be different, no? Britishers can have Jamindari. How can government of India have Jamindari? That's why government of India promised. As per the land reform, the first reform is abolition of Jamindari. No Jamindars. Take the land from Jamindars and give it to landless people. If that is properly done, if real that has happened, many poor people in India would have got land. And if they get the land, they'll produce the crop, they'll get the money, they will educate their children, take care of the health problems, they'll grow in their life, no? But this land reform is not implemented all places. It's implemented in Kerala, it's okay. Kerala implemented well. Some places implemented decently well, some places. But West Bengal, Jharkhand is a part of West Bengal only actually. Chhattisgarh and Bihar, this place, Jharkhand part of Bihar, I'm sorry. Jharkhand is part of Bihar only, okay? And Chhattisgarh is part of Madhya Pradesh in those days. So in these areas, these land reforms, in Andhra Pradesh also, these land reforms are not implemented. Why, Why don't you tell me? Because Chief Minister is a landlord. the chief ministers of these states, ministers of the state, from Congress party only, at that time Congress party only, no. In Congress party, who became chief minister of most of the states ministers? Landlords only, of certain caste. In Rayalaseema, one caste is there. That caste are landlords. They are chief ministers of Andhra Pradesh for many years. For almost like 30, 40 years, the chief ministers, that community, basically. Similarly in Bihar and Madhya Pradesh and all. So hence, why will they implement land reforms? If they are landlords, why will they, okay, my land, I will distribute everybody, you please take the land. Why will they do like that? They will not do. That is the problem. So what is happening here? Democracy. Actually, democracy means what? We vote, people only will select the leaders. So what do we think? But democracy, what do you think? Democracy means people can elect the leaders. So generally, leaders will be supporting the people. Leaders will help the people. Leaders will help the farmers, poor people. We think like that, no? But that did not happen in most of states. The leaders became richer. The leaders exploited the poor. Just the British only. British exploited the poor. Here also exploiting the poor. Same thing happened. So land reforms are poor. You should not say no implementation, poor implementation. Some land reforms are implemented. It is not zero, but some are implemented. Because of this reason, because of poor implementation of land reform, this is the main reason because of which people thought that the poor farmers, landless peasants, they decided that democracy is not good for our country. Obviously, see, for example, I'm a poor person from some area, from Jharkhand. India, I say, India got independence, I felt happy. Next day, what happened? I don't have land. I should go to the landlord. He'll beat me. He'll kick me. Sometimes he will take everything from me. I cannot do anything. I have to cry and come to my home. And India got independence. I cannot say like that, no. That's why these are the people who went into Naxalism. First reason for Naxalism. So these people fought against, you can write, these people fought against the democratic form of government. These people fought against the democratic form of government. And they wanted to establish Maoism or Maoist communism in India. Maoism or communism in India. They want to establish communism in India. Communist party in India. Communism in India. They want to establish communism in India. Where? Communism in India. Where the land is distributed to all the people equally. Where the land is distributed to all the people equally. Okay. Now, second reason. Second reason is Forest Conservation Act. Affected livelihood of tribes. Livelihood. You know what happened after independence? After independence, India wants to conserve the forest. Because forest is a wealth. Forest kinds of wealth, they have to conserve. But for conservation of forest, you know what they have done? Traditionally, tribal communities live in the forests, no? They expelled the tribal communities. They expelled. The forest guards, you know what is the forest guard? Forest guards are appointed to conserve the forest and conserve the wildlife. I can give you example of two laws. One law is Wildlife Conservation Act. Wildlife Conservation Act 1972, and even Forest Conservation Act. Actually, Wildlife Protection Act. Okay. Forest Conservation Act 1980, I think. Even Biodiversity Act is also there. So these acts, you know what these acts have done? These acts want to conserve the wildlife and conserve the forest. For that, they don't want tribes to live in some forest areas. They want tribes to go out. But when tribes go out, how can they live? Because tribes traditionally their livelihood is dependent on forest. If you're expelling the tribes, obviously they feel alienated. Friends, alienated means isolated. That means people feel that we are not citizens of India. We are aliens. Aliens means government is not taking care of us. They're considering as not a part of the country. They are not thinking about us. They are just kicking us out of the forest. Out of the forest, what they will do? Do you know what happened? Many tribes, once they come out of the forest, no, they're exploited. They're illiterate. Their culture is different. Their dressing is different. The language is different. Outside people will look at them very low. They exploit them. They misuse them. They cannot get proper jobs. They cannot go to schools. Hospitals also will not respect them. In the forest, they are very happy. In the forest, they have this traditional way of living in the forest. They collect the forest produce, they eat the forest produce, they live very happily. Suddenly, their lives are spoiled. Lives are damaged suddenly. They're kicked out of the forest. Now, what they will do? They join Naxalism. Understand? They have took up the arms, fought against the government. Understand? Second reason. So, Forest Conservation Acts alienated the tribes, affected their livelihoods. Affected their livelihoods. You are right like that. Affected their livelihoods. Alienated the tribal communities. And forest guards exploited them. Forest guards exploited them. For example, tell me, during British time in British India, a British police killed one Indian citizen. I mean, killed an Indian. Do you think police arrested? British police kills Indians, no, generally. When he gets angry, kills Indians. Will he be arrested? Will he be prosecuted? No, no. Similarly, after independence also, a forest guard can do anything. Tribal community, he will do whatever he wants. He will not be arrested. So what is the difference now? India independence or no India did not get independence? That is the idea. So communities there never felt that India is independent. They never felt that this is the government for them. Hence join Naxalism. Okay? Friends, the other reasons are lack of development. Development, or lack of infrastructure, or lack of services. In many places of India, there are no schools. I mean, there is no proper education. There is no healthcare. There is no employment. There is no employment for the people in the village. No income, no revenue for them. No houses for them. No houses. In some places, no drinking water also. In some places, there is no drinking water. There is no electricity. There is no electricity. No house. No drinking water. No road connectivity. No roads. Road connectivity. No houses. If they get they get small cough, fever, typhoid, whatever, they used to die. No medicine. No healthcare services. You can write down. Actually, you can write down all these things quickly. You can write down. These are the reasons why people felt that this is not our government. Felt like people. In your independence, but in my village, no housing, no house facility, no drinking water facility, no current. There are no proper schools. There are no hospitals. And my son, my children, my sons, daughters, no employment, no job, no income, no revenue, no security. There's no security. For example, in my village, anybody can come and do anything. I cannot do anything. There's no police. Police is not taking care. No law and order. Understand? Right like this. There's lack of development, housing, employment, drinking water supply, electricity, roads, education, healthcare, infrastructure, services, security. Write something. Write all these things. In mains answer writing, you have to write like this only. In mains answer writing, not under security, in economy also. If at all I teach mains answer writing economy or something, I'll tell you how you get more marks by writing very simple terms. In mains answers, you don't think that you get marks by writing the very difficult policies or some facts, nothing like that. Basic things: infrastructure, development, sustainability, employment, skill development, education, healthcare services. Basic words only you have to use to get highest marks in the mains examination. Understand? You should know. You should have to make a list of some 200, 300 basic words. Use them everywhere to get high marks. Okay. Anyhow, now coming back, friends. Because of lack of development, what happens? Naxals were able to easily attract the people. Do you know in India who joins Naxalism? Mostly tribals and rural youth. Rural youth. City youth very rare. Mostly rural youth only. Rural youth and tribal youth only will join. Old people will not join. If I'm 90 years old, I will not go and join Naxalism, take the gun. I will not do that. Youth who feel that they are not getting jobs and their family is not getting income, they see the difficulties in their village, no drinking water, they get angry, and Naxals call them. If you think you want to fight against government, come with us. I will go. I will go and join, because there at least gun is there. Here nothing is there in the village, at least. And I feel that with the gun, with the uniform, I feel that I am going to save my village. I'm going to overthrow the government. Overthrow means to demolish the government, build a new order. Naxal thinks that they can build a communist government in India. They feel that. They fight for that actually. Understand? So these are the, actually I'm just writing 3 as the point, but I wrote several points basically. If you want to, you can write 20 points. Doesn't matter, okay? So lack of development, another reason for Naxalism. Then friends, lack of rehabilitation. Lack of rehabilitation or resettlement or compensation during land acquisition. Do you know what is the Land Acquisition Act India is following? 1887, I think. 7 or 83, I'm not very sure, 1887, I think. British Act. Even till today, most of the acts India is following are the British Acts only. British Acts only. Recent change, of course. This Act is amended in 2013. In 2013, a new Act came. Land Acquisition, Rehabilitation, Resettlement Act. It's a new Act. Till 2013, we followed the 1887 British Land Acquisition Act. It's draconian. You know what draconian means? Very dangerous. Does not think about people. Does not think about people. You know, in 1887, why British? 1887, I'm not very sure. 1883 it can be, I'm not very sure. But it's the British Act. British Act. Now the British Act, you have to check it. You have to check the year. British Act. Do you know why Britishers passed that act? Because Britishers wanted to acquire the land for their development. For example, I want to construct a power plant for power generation, or I want to construct an industry, or I want to do mining, because I found that coal is there, iron ore is there, mining. In that place, people will be there. For example, I want to construct an industry or to do mining. In that place, people are there. Government uses Land Acquisition Act. That means this land government is acquiring, taking. You go away like that. They'll go out. They will not be given compensation. No compensation, no money. You have to go out, that's all. No resettlement. Resettlement means a person who is settled here, you have to build a house somewhere, resettle there when he has moved. Rehabilitation means, for example, I'm staying here. In this village, I'm staying. In this village, I am doing a job. Now, when I'm kicked out, when I have to go out, there, government has to give me a job there. For my children, give education there. Give a house there. Give some money for me to settle. Then all I'll go out. Direct, how can I go out? But after independence, see, 2013 is recent. Forget about it. After independence, you know what was the stance of, at that time, there was a irrigation minister. You know what he said? We are constructing a large dam here. Dams were built actually. After independence, first 10 years, what was done? Dams. Because most of the Indians are farmers. And we want water, irrigation is required. For irrigation, rainfall is not enough. So dams were built, dam. For power generation also, dam. Dams help in many ways. Number 1, floods can be stopped. Number 2, drought. If there is no rainfall, water can be used. Number 3, irrigation can be done. Number 4, fishing can be done. In mains, remember in mains, Always you have to get multiple points. It means then you will get more marks. Okay. So now irrigation said that these 1,000 acres we want for dam. People they'll say, sir, okay, sir, now what shall we do? He will say, we are constructing dam for development of the nation. So you have to sacrifice, you go out. They have to sacrifice. Why should they sacrifice? Generally, why should they sacrifice? And they sacrifice, will you sacrifice for somebody and go out of your home and stay somewhere? No. So that was purely a nonsense principle. Nonsense philosophy was followed for many years. Or many years followed. For example, do you know Mining Act? Government of India used to follow. You can write down Mining Act. As Mining Act, if government finds mine somewhere, they'll throw the people from there, do mining. Mining Act, mining. Similarly, Land Acquisition Act. Friends, in mains, any point you write, you have to give evidence. For example, how to go back like this, right? For example, when I say land reforms, I have to mention what is the land reform, Zamindari system. When I say forest conservation, I would say what forest conservation? Wildlife Protection Act, I will tell the facts. For any concept, you will always tell the facts, you understand? For example, when I say lack of development, what is development? I should write education, houses like that. That's called evidence. For example, when I say rehabilitation is not given, under what act? I have to mention Land Acquisition Act, Mining Act, you understand? In mains, any point that you write shall have evidence. Any point that you write shall be backed up with facts, acts, policies, history. Without the general, you cannot say Naxalism started because of lack of development. What development? Because there is no rehabilitation. What rehabilitation? Because of conservation of forest. What conservation of forest? You cannot write like this. You have to give evidence. Understand? As internal security is a main topic, when I take internal security classes, I will go in the form of mains only. Okay, mains is always about writing multiple points, multiple dimensions, supporting with evidences, facts and acts. Okay, if you follow this, you'll get very good marks in any mains paper, history, geography, politics, anything. Okay, now see friends, so like this. Fifth reason. Fourth reason, understood? No, fourth reason, no rehabilitation, resettlement, compensation for those who are alienated from the land. From their land, they're alienated for mining or government acquiring land for construction of dam or power plant. See, there is another act called Power Plant Act or Highway Act. Many acts are there, friends, actually, highway. That means while constructing a highway, government acquires the land, acquisition. While constructing a power plant, they acquire the land. While do mining, for everything land is required. Whenever they acquire the land, what they do? Alienate the people from the land. Alienate means that throw the people from the land. They get nothing. That's their land now. That's my land. This 1 acre is my land. My grandfather gave it to me. How can you kick me out? That's the idea. So these people are again attacked by whom? Naxals, okay? Next fifth point is, friends, have you seen the movie Chemala Dandu? I think nobody sees the movie. The hero of the movie is Narayana Murthy. Have you seen that movie, Narayana Murthy? Have you seen the song? Actually, nowadays, youth feel it's very comedy kind of movie. But actually, it's revolutionary movies they are. You have to see such kind of movies. If you want to see, any movie has one trend setting. That movie, Chiyamar Dandu, actually, Narayana Murthy's movies are like that only, basically. Anyhow, friends, I'm telling you this movie because corruption is another reason for Naxalism. Corruption and atrocities by government atrocities. I'll explain those things. L. Narayana Murthy is famous in Telugu movie industry because he does not look like a hero. He looks different. Such people don't become heroes. I think one of his songs which is famous in Telugu industry is Nee Pada Meeda Puttumachane Chillamma song is there. L. Narayana Murthy only it is. L. Narayana Murthy's movies are different basically. Okay, anyhow, friends, You know how corruption and atrocities, how these two led to Naxalism, you know? If you see the movie, you understand that. Simal Dandu, other thing. So, Erra Sainyam, actually another movie, Erra Sainyam is there. Anyhow, the point is, these government officers, including the police, doing corruption and atrocities both. For example, you would not know that many police stations in India, now it is reduced. Now because social media is there, the police are also afraid. Police has so much of power, they can do anything. They can go to one home and do whatever they want in that home. Nobody can ask questions because of such kind of atrocities. Even MLAs, MPs, ministers, lot of atrocities. For example, I'm a minister. The land price increasing. I'll put cases on everybody on the table. I'll put some false case. I'll throw them out. I'll capture that land. I'll take that land. What can they do? I'm a minister. They cannot do anything. And police go to village, poor villages or tribal community. They can do whatever they want. Atrocities. Nobody can do anything. And corruption. For everything they do corruption. For example, let us say one coolie is there. Coolie who is earning some 100 rupees in the station. The railway police will go and ask 50 rupees from him. He has to give. Otherwise, he'll cancel the coolie license, throw him out of the station. That's called atrocities and corruption combination. This actually made people think that government is not for us. Government is only for elite. You can write down that. The thought that democratic governments and the leaders of democracy, are from the elite class. The thought that democratic government and leaders are from the elite class, and they only protect the elite class. Combined with atrocities and corruption. From government departments and officials. Drew the people towards Naxalism. Has drawn the people towards Naxalism. Attracted the people towards Naxalism. Anything you can reach. That's all, friend. You can stop it here. Of course, there are other things also. I am telling all negative aspects. Negative aspects means I am telling anti-government things. I am basically Naxalite, basically. That's why I am telling all anti-government things. But other things also, you can tell other reasons also. Now I will tell other reasons also. Till now I told anti-government reasons, no? Now I will tell anti-Naxal reasons. Other reasons why Naxalism started, because of illiteracy. Lack of awareness. Illiteracy. People do not know. Because Naxalism cannot do it. Naxalism will only waste our life. Naxalism will only destroy our families. Naxalism will kill us. Naxalites cannot achieve anything actually. Because of illiteracy. People are illiterate. They don't know anything. Lack of awareness. That's why Naxalism increased in India. You see Naxalites, some of them may be educated. Some of them educated. I would not say everybody is illiterate. But most of the Naxalites illiterates only. They don't have any awareness. They feel that if I become Naxalite, I'll get some advantage. Something they'll think and they'll go. Okay. Anyhow, so this also you can write. This is one point I told, which is not against the government. All 5 points against the government only. Okay. Now, friends, I'm not Naxalite. I just joked. Okay. Anyhow, see, I am not a Naxal sympathizer also. Naxal sympathizer also is a Naxalite on account to me. I am strictly against Naxalism and Naxalites because in my village, I know some people who stay in the village. They stay in the village. They are not Naxalites, but they support Naxalites. Have you seen the movie Yarasinduram? It was also a very famous movie. The hero was Ravi Teja's first movie. It was Ravi Teja and Srihari. Not Srihari, somebody else. Brahmaji and one more person is there. Okay, anyhow, very good. Yarasinduram's movie also, they show Naxal sympathizer. I am not a Naxalite, but when Naxals come to a village, I safely keep them in the home. I hide them from the police. I give money to them, give food to them. I am a sympathizer. And for India, China and Pakistan, supplied money for Naxalites and supplied weapons for Naxalites. Because of China supplying weapons, guns, arms, and money and ideas to Naxals, that's why Naxalism became very big in India. Otherwise, without China and Pakistan support, Naxals cannot become so strong. Where do they get weapons from? How do they get weapons? Weapons are important. No, you might have seen some movies. Naxals weapons are powerful than the police weapons. Police weapons are rusted in the police station. They don't know how to use also. But Naxals are well trained. They can use it better and better weapons. How are they getting from? They're getting it from China and Pakistan only. They're actually supporting them. So another reason you can say is support of China and Pakistan. Support from, now I cannot say, now you cannot China. China now is not supporting, I think. Previously support. Support from China and Pakistan actually increased Naxalism in India. Increased Naxalism in India.